Friday.
It is Friday.
Okay, so it's 9-ish.
It's 9-ish.
We're live. We had a few technical difficulties
Yes.
with Cruz over there. Now we've got
Not with Cruz.
not with Cruz.
Just
no.
to be clear, Cruz is the godfather pulling the strings.
Yes, he is absolutely.
We are the weakest link,
Yes,
not Cruz.
yes.
Just to be,
We were
yes.
having technical difficulties with the technology,
Yes.
but scoot over. See, look at that. Look at that. Stage direction, live as it happens. I'm getting closer.
Here we go.
Yes.
Moving up.
There we are. There we are. So what's happening, man?
Man, we're about to rock out. I'm going to zoom out, do some coaching, and then get on a plane and go ski.
What?
That's what I'm going
Okay,
to
so where are
do.
you going to ski?
Going to Park Cities. So that'll be fun.
Is that Utah?
It is?
Not Park Cities, Dallas.
I think so. Yes. Not skiing in Park Cities, Dallas.
Yeah,
no.
the Park Cities MLS meeting?
Yes. Yeah.
So Park Cities, Utah. Okay. Man, I have not been skiing since I was a teenager.
It'll be good. I missed the last couple of years. So there's a group of us 10 guys, 10-ish guys that go skiing every year.
a little wolf
We've
pack
been doing this
going.
for a long time. And then 2 years ago, I wasn't able to go because I was going through my divorce and all that craziness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was going through all my hell. And then last year, Mom was going through her stuff. So didn't. And so yeah. So I was
Okay,
like,
so it's
this is. I'm ready to go.
Right on. And now, do you still skate too?
I do a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of these days we're gonna have to. I have not skated. Theoretically, you're supposed to never forget.
Yeah.
How to-
Theoretically, although about 5 years ago, I went skating with my brother, and I think I forgot, and I ended up doing a pile drive, reverse head into the ice, and ended up in the ER that night with a concussion. So I've learned more.
Now, were you trying to skate backwards or no?
It was his fault. He tripped me. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
That's how it replays in my mind.
there you go. Yeah. Well, unless there's conclusive evidence to prove otherwise,
Absolutely.
that's the verdict.
Dude.
Well, because I've not skated in probably 15 or 20 years either.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm curious. It's always like, oh, it's just like riding a bike, is
Yeah.
it? Is it?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to go and rent like some crappy figure skates or whatever because I can't do it. I can't skate with figure skates, or I never could.
Yeah. No.
Hockey
Me
skates are broke, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. All right. What's on your mind?
Dude, lots of
How's
just
last week's been?
yeah, lots going on, lots of big doings. You know, and it's one of those things where you just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, it gets stressful when things kind of come out of left field, but then they make sense in the macro. And the trick is to not overreact.
Yeah.
And so just a lot of changes. So like now the studio on the west, we're going to configure that up and be a little bit more appointment only.
Yep.
And then, but like we were talking earlier, looking at doing a little bit more intense deep dive stuff where we would dedicate a day or two
Yeah.
to something where, and I love the idea of your take the stage
Yep.
thing. We kind of truncate that, or maybe
Yep.
even have it where it's the,
I think one of the things that'd be really cool is bring people into the studio and then teach them 5 or 6 different ways to deliver material. Right. I think it'd be kind of cool to go like, hey, here's the camera, but like here's 5 or 6 different ways to do this.
I love it.
It just shortened that time down because I think
Yes.
everybody knows they need to be doing content. They know they need to be doing more. And quite frankly, like I have a really hard, like this is easy for me.
Same.
I have a really hard time if it's like, hey, do a long form 45-minute video on something. And I'm like, I'm just talking at a camera. Like,
Can we do it
that's-
in 90-second chunks?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's really tough for me. You know what I mean? Without like feedback and
Yeah.
like this is good and I like to ask questions and you know, but there's just 2 of them, but there's like all these other styles. But I think teaching people, hey, here's how you can do this. Here's
I
what it
love
should look
that.
like.
And like exactly what you're saying. This where it's conversational and we're just kind of riffing or whatever.
Right.
That's easy because we do that
Yes.
anyhow. But then I have so Teresa Flood does the Upside podcast here, and she is amazing, but a completely different style where she does do the 8 to 12 minute,
Yeah.
like just
And
super nutrient
just
dense. Yeah,
Power. You're
yeah.
like, how instead of watching it 3 times, you're like, how do I like slow this way down?
Right,
Like, how
right.
do I
And
watch
it-
this in like quarter speed? Yeah.
Could I just get the transcript and just like
Yeah.
by osmosis,
Yes.
or could I just
Yeah.
listen to this on a loop? I mean, even last week, Cruz was taking notes
Yeah.
while she was
Dude,
actually
that's
doing
it.
the show
He
here.
has never taken notes during one
Right,
of our.
right. I'm like, dude,
that's,
come on.
That I don't know if I'm okay with that.
Are
I
we
don't know
not-
if he's taking any notes.
Are we
when
not
we're
dropping
talking.
science here? Are we not?
I don't know. He should be.
Yeah.
Maybe. Probably not.
He gets all this free coaching.
Yeah, there we go. But there is, and I think that one of the things about that is a lot of people get stuck in one content, right? And like you
Yes.
kind of need it all. You and I were talking about it earlier. Like you can have the content where you're driving down the road, holding the phone. Well, maybe you shouldn't drive down the road holding the phone. But anyway, you can have the walking around,
Studio SA
just
does not
talking.
endorse that.
Yeah, exactly.
Does not endorse that.
You can have
style.
that, but then you also need the stuff that looks really legit and is
Yes.
professional and thought wow. And it's like, here's my 4 point. I mean, you need it all in the different realms. So
Yes.
it can't just be one.
And kind of thinking beyond the fact of like, okay, I'm in front of the camera right this very minute. There's this
Yep.
thing that I want to say. There's this message I want to convey. It's like, okay, well, where's that going to live later?
Correct.
You know, and there is something to be said. You would get more points for doing something than you would doing nothing.
Absolutely.
But the idea of a Zoom call going out as sort of like your
Yeah.
branded content.
Yeah, if that's all
know?
it is, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and there's going to be, let's face it. I mean, there's going to be folks that are, for lack of a better term, less qualified, but with better social media skills that
Yes.
are going to pass you by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not a knock on anybody. And again, kudos for doing anything. But I love the idea of doing a day-long kind of an intensive deep dive where it's like, here are the 4 or 5 most popular styles, and getting maybe like
Here's
only
how to do it.
5 or 6 people
Yeah.
where it's literally everybody riffs off of each other.
Right.
And maybe we throw,
Yeah.
because it's like, I've done
and
the,
here's how to create content. Here's where to get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's
And
what to do with it afterwards. Yeah.
therein lies the big problem that folks end up facing is like, okay, now I've got this stuff. What do I do with it?
Yeah.
And it's easy enough whenever, okay, 123 Main Street is for sale. And it's like, okay, well, obviously that sort of is self-explanatory. You're trying to sell that house or whatever. But how do you incorporate that into everything that comes later? Where's your ROI on that initial content, which
Yes.
is what I'm really obsessed with
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
And so like, I'm gonna put you on the spot and be like, let's see if we can do one of those like in March
It'd be
or
awesome.
April,
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
it's like really,
Yes.
I think I've just developed allergies in the last 3 seconds, which is awesome. This is excellent. Speaking of excellent content,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes. But something where we really drill down and get people, because it's really about the mindset,
Yeah.
and then it's about figuring out like, okay, what am I good at on
Yes.
the content?
Well, I
side?
mean, it comes down to what do I coach on all the time, right? Mindset, skill set, tool set. So it's like the mindset, and then the tools are like, hey, here's how you do it. Like it's like the teaching and here's the list, and then the skills, like being able to actually bring that to life.
My branding brain just exploded. Like, why is that not a T-shirt? Why is that not a tagline?
I don't know.
So if Alan Simonton is out there, if he could get on the, if he could get the T-shirt out.
I'll if you get the T-shirt we had. So this last week we did our private mastermind that we don't talk about, and I'm like, it's like Fight Club. We don't talk about it. And one of the girls is like, well, actually, they talked about it a lot. And I was like, now I don't know what to do. Like, do I market it? Do I not market it? Because I'm like, it's like Fight Club. Nobody say shit. And she's like, actually, in Fight Club, they talked quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on. So I don't know what to do. But the T-shirt was like oh shoot, although more exacerbated. But it was that moment when people were in their like hot seat, and like all of a sudden like wham, and like it was so cool because every person had that moment of like, I don't know what I need help with, but I think it's this, and what do they think they need help with, but like that wasn't it, and like that oh shit moment of like boom, like Mack truck, and like that's the thing, right? So that was the shirt. It was like, oh shit, like when a Mack truck hits you, like, oh crap, if I don't follow this person, I'm never doing this. Like, if I don't get rid, one of the big things about that was so interesting about it the last couple of days is, and this is not easy, but like, there's almost always a death required to go to the next level. Yes. And it freaking sucks. Right? Whether it's the death of like, I gotta like, hey, I got 2 things, I gotta stop doing this so we can handle this. Or it's like, hey, I was in partnership with these people, like this doesn't work, you guys. Or like it's a personal relationship, or whatever it is. Like, it's almost always, there's almost always